This is KC24 News at 6.
This week, your local weather authority team has been presenting High and Dry, a special series on the drought.
We've examined the causes and the impacts and the worst case scenarios, and tonight, some outside the box possible solutions. AJ Fox continues our coverage from the Weather Center.
Thanks, guys. In this final installment of our special series on the drought, meteorologist Justin Sacher shows us a few wild and extreme ideas that could help us survive or even perhaps thrive when Mother Nature leaves us high and dry.
What if all the water that goes down the drain was treated and recycled back to the tap? Fresno's wastewater treatment facility processes up to 80 million gallons of liquid waste every day.
That's a lot of water. That will fill up Bulldog Stadium a number of times.
Fresno Wastewater Management Director Stephen Hogg says many cities are already turning sewage back into drinking water.
Recycled water is really a valuable resource. It's a very drought-resistant, drought-tolerant water supply.
Fresno's already recycling nearly all the water that comes into the wastewater treatment plant. This water here comes right out the back. 10% of the water is used to water crops for food for animals or for fiber like cotton. The rest is pooled in ponds where it percolates into the ground. This not only recharges the water table, but provides an economical final cleansing.
It disinfects and removes most of the microbiology from the water.
But construction will soon begin on a new advanced stage of treatment at the plant. After processing, this water will be piped back into Fresno for reuse through a separate water system for landscaping and industry.
Irrigation, cooling water, so that we can offset those other kinds of demands and save the other surface water for potable use.
What about harvesting water from valley fog? Collecting water from fog is an ancient practice. Today, it's still used in many parts of the world. This collector made of mesh netting was built by FogQuest, a charity that helps set up the relatively inexpensive devices in developing countries. CSU Monterey Bay Science and Environmental Policy Professor Daniel Fernandez experiments with such fog nets in California.
From 1 square meter, I've collected in the Big Sur area, which gets a lot of fog and a lot of wind, I've collected about 39 liters in one day. That's
more than 10 gallons of water pulled from the air. But Fernandez says there's a problem that may keep it from working so well in the valley. Too little wind.
Typically less wind, but the droplet sizes are a lot smaller. So I would expect that the liquid water content per cubic meter is probably less there than in coastal areas.
Meaning although it's possible to collect water from our Tule fog, it won't be very much.
It's certainly something worth trying. I mean, I think the idea of it's really neat. Maybe you could set up a fog net and get a fog garden going and see what you get.
So what about the idea of building a canal from one side of the country to the other, or a pipeline? Well, construction of a pipeline can cost about $25 a foot at least. Multiply that base by the diameter, $6,000 a foot, 5,280 feet in a mile, $31 million for 2,000 miles from the Midwest. The cost? $67 billion. Not to talk about design, not to talk about the immense amount of electricity it takes to pump the water up the mountains and control it falling back down again. As conditions change, wild solutions like turning wastewater back into tap water are becoming less extreme and more mainstream. And who knows, maybe the next wild idea will just be crazy enough to work. Justin Sacher, KC24, your local weather authority.
Interesting ideas.
Yeah, some great ideas. I kind of like the fog idea.
Yes. It seems like when we have so much fog in the wintertime around here that it would be just, oh, let's just pull some water out of the air and
why not?
Save it for later. And it's such a great idea. Another one, a company just contacted me today, in fact, and their entire purpose is desalinating water.
Yeah.
You can stick a straw in the ocean and just pull it right out. And, you know, so there's a lot of different ideas, and, you know, it always comes down to...
I know, but the pipeline may be a little...
Yeah, that one seemed, yeah, $67 billion. Everybody went, ooh.
Yeah.
That could be a non-starter.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's take a look at our own temperatures. I should probably